Around this time exactly 1 year ago, I made the decision that I was going to go sober for 6 months. And my relationship with alcohol was always a complicated one for me. If you're new here, my name's T, and at one point in my life, alcohol was a huge outlet for me. I was overweight and I lacked any kind of self-confidence, so I used alcohol to speak to people, to kind of hide away from my emotions, and sometimes just because getting shit-faced was good crack. But over the past couple of years, I guess you could say I've turned a new leaf. I've lost over 50 pounds, I've changed my habits, my lifestyle, and I started looking after myself. But with that also meant that I had to work on my relationship with alcohol too. I wanted to work so I could get to a point where I didn't rely on it anymore for my confidence or use it as a coping mechanism. I wanted to see what was capable for both my body and my mind without the influence of alcohol. So from July to December 2023, I went sober, and those 6 months were pivotal in my journey. I was focused on my own self-discovery. I locked in with my training and building my business, and I no longer had a cloud of anxiousness hanging over my head with a hangover. And at times I found it extremely challenging, but it was probably one of the best things I've ever done for myself. But I guess what was interesting for me was adding alcohol back into my life again. It wasn't that I was afraid of resorting back to my old ways, because I knew I had built solid foundations and I was a different person. Rather, it was kind of all the emotions that came with it. I somehow felt a sense of guilt at first, like I had an expectation to uphold of being the sober one, or that I was doing something wrong, that it had to be an all or nothing for me. It was the feeling of now understanding that I maybe didn't quite get the same kick out of it as I used to, but then questioning, did that make me boring or not fun to be around anymore? So over the past 6 months, I've learned to incorporate alcohol into my life in a more moderate way, and I guess I realised how to strike a balance, and that it didn't need to be this thing that I demonise. That alcohol can 100% be something that you enjoy, and you can absolutely do both. However, if you are wondering where I'm at with my relationship with alcohol right now, I'm not drinking at the moment, and I'm going to be sober for the foreseeable. And I'm not saying never again, because never say never and all that, but for me right now, I'm happy out and just bringing my own vibe. And I have to say, I'm really proud that I've managed to get myself to this point. So if you take anything from this video, do what is right for you, set boundaries for yourself, and don't succumb to peer pressure, and don't be afraid to try new things. You never know what could happen.